Hated 11s. There is only one man to help me explore this, and it is, of course, Tom Garratt. Tom, an honour. I'm so grateful for you coming down for this, mate.
Pleasure.
This is a new thing. I've tried to elevate this channel. I've been promising everybody that it's coming, and finally got there. Finally managed to make it work. And you're the debut. You're the.
Hey, come on, that's what I'm here for.
Mate, thank you so much. Do you know what? When I thought about this topic as well, I thought it's quite an interesting one, because football, I think it's correct. Football is also, as much as it's about love and togetherness, football is about rivalry and tribalism and hatred. There's a place for it in the game. It's not the same sport without it.
100%.
And I was thinking, who is the best person to help me explore this quite delicate topic?
I'm not sure I like that though.
It's either a
Am I a hateful man?
No. You're a charming man. You're a lovely man. But in terms of exploring the spite in the game,
Yeah.
I think you're the man for the job. So what I thought we could do though is have a think about the players that get to us. Right? Players that get to us, maybe irrationally, maybe totally rationally. Some of these, right? You're going to have a reason for this. You're going to go, I don't like X because, and it's going to make total sense to everyone.
Well, probably not. They're completely irrational, but they're not to me.
Yeah, no, I like the ones that make no sense to anyone.
Just hate them.
Yeah, just sort of gets on. Just a particular player can get under your skin for whatever reason, and it makes sense. I'll give you a good example of this. You ever heard Adam McCullough talk about Heung-min Son?
He hates him, doesn't he? I don't know why.
Totally irrational. It's like totally irrational.
I think players like that, because they're so liked by most people, and he seems such a lovely bloke. Others are like, he can't be that nice. Yeah, he's a prick.
Yeah, well, do you remember when he did that? Over the geezer at Everton.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, he's not that kind of bloke. And like, hang on a minute, he's done it 4 times. He's definitely that kind of bloke. But so what we're going to try and do on this video is to build out the 11 players, a team that we think are the most hateful in the league. We're going to try and agree.
I've gone all time.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. No, I've gone all time as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gone all time.
There's a few non-negotiables on mine.
There's a couple. There's a couple that there's a hill that I'll die on. Should we get it going? Who have you gone for as a keeper?
Well, I struggled with this until I remembered. Do you remember 2004, the Euros?
The gloves, geezer who took his
Ricardo.
Took his gloves
Ricardo.
off.
I ate it, and then he scored.
Yeah. Do you know what I loved about
that? Killed me because we should have won that tournament.
Yeah, he scored, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ashley Cole scored it. I remember that keeper was giving
his
it a big
gloves off and then
threw it,
and then saved without his gloves.
Ashley Cole had never taken a professional penalty before in his life.
Oh really?
And he stepped up and scored off the back of the keeper, taking the gloves off and giving it.
Darius Vassella, someone missed. Jesus, but yeah, that will always live with me. That Ricardo.
Ricardo's a good shout. Do you know what I've gone for?
Go on.
Emi Martinez. Winds me up. Really winds me up. And I should like him. Because he winds Arsenal fans up.
Yeah.
But he really got, do you know what he got on my nerves? Do you remember during the World Cup? And obviously he won the World Cup, fair play to him, and he played a significant part in them winning the World Cup. But do you remember he started like really taking a mick out of Mbappe? Mbappe scored 4 goals past him. Yeah, no, he was wearing like a Teenage Mutant Hero Turtle mask. After.
Yeah. I think that all the stuff during the World Cup I loved. I thought all the shit house.
No, you can't argue with that.
I know what you mean though. Yeah, after it's a bit like, come on, you've won.
Yeah, you've won the World Cup.
Yeah,
on his celebration, they're on the open top bus going through Buenos Aires,
right?
Living the dream.
Yeah, I think I might have seen this.
You're going through Buenos Aires as world champions. Right, that's the 3rd time that they've become champions. Like, they're over the moon. They are heroes. These players are icons. Everything is going their way. And he finds the room and the time to somehow dedicate some hatred.
The last thing on your mind should be Mbappe.
It should be Mbappe. And also, mate, he scored 4 times past you. In that final, he scored his penalty and then he scored 3 times. Like, you haven't really won.
He dropped one of the best performances of all time.
Yeah, man of the match performance, and you're mocking him. So Emi Martinez wound me up. And also, not that I have any sort of sympathy towards Arsenal and Arsenal fans here, but his treatment to Arsenal fans is nuts. He's really hard.
I'm probably not clued in with this then.
No, he got long. Arsenal fans hate him.
Really?
It's like, you know when you feel that cacophony, that deafening boo when a goalkeeper's going to the when that keeper, when Emi Martinez is going to the North Bank or whatever it would be the equivalent of now, they hate him.
Why?
Because he left. He got longed off, and he's probably right. He got longed off for Bert Leno.
Yes.
And he obviously had the hump about that because he would have been looking at Leno going, "What are you talking about?" Since he left, he kind of has always been snide to them, and they loved it. Do you remember he scored that little cushion header off the bar, Jorginho, and he put it in his own net?
Yes.
So they loved that.
Ah, right.
But he's basically whether he wins this, because I think you might have. I think the player that you've put on the table could actually be the correct answer. This geezer's hate. Like Emi Martinez is a wind up.
Yeah, I quite like that about him though.
I do. Yeah. I know. I'd like it if it was.
I struggled with goalies. I think goalies are hard because, like, I love the way Pickford is. As an opposition fan, it's annoying, but you'd love it on your team, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Someone like that who's just taking like.
Now, do you know what, Ricardo's a good shout.
Let's lock him in.
Let's lock
Ricardo in.
Have you anyone you passionate about your right back?
Yes.
Are you?
Very.
Okay, I'm not. So I've got one, but I'm not.
I've technically got 2 right backs, but.
All right.
They're both non-negotiable.
Okay. Over to you.
Then my one centre half, you're not gonna like.
You're not having that. I know what you're thinking. I know that's not happening.
But I don't care. I don't hate him that much. Alan Hutton is non-negotiable.
Alan Hutton, Villa, Scottish fella.
He tried to end Shane Long's career twice and like embraced it.
Really?
Yeah. So, go and Google. Anyone watching this, go on YouTube. Alan Hutton's tackles on Shane Long. I'm talking chest high studs, and he only got booked. And the other one, what was the other one? Tried to break his leg, I think. He's horrible.
So Alan Hutton's your shout. I went Ben White. I
Oh,
just don't like the look of him. I just don't like him.
Do you know what, Raw? That's actually... I don't like him.
I just don't like him. I
just
don't like
anything. Football. Oh, grow up, mate.
There's nothing about Ben White that I like. Also, I don't particularly rate him. He seems to get so much love.
I think he's decent.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
But you know the way that he was being portrayed by Arsenal fans?
Yeah, it's because he played out of position and had a good season.
Yeah.
But he spent, I don't like football, because you're too busy fucking fake tanning.
Yeah. Mate, the look of it. I know that you
looked terrible the other day.
Mate, he looked ridiculous. You know that mad little tash in the
middle of
like
December.
Silver hair. Like, what are you doing, mate? Yeah.
Ben White's not a bad shout.
Alan Hutton, and you've got another one?
Kevin Muscat.
Muscat I get.
Horrible.
Muscat I get.
Horrible.
Yeah, have you seen that clip with
Millwall?
That's
what Muscat that is.
Yeah. Warnock at Millwall.
But he was at the Wolves as well. He was horrid.
Yeah.
Well,
he was just he was a thug. You know, there are certain footballers. You know when we call certain footballers thugs, they're not.
They're just hard and they get stuck in.
Whereas there's a couple.
He was nasty.
Him, Ben Thatcher.
Yeah.
Ben Thatcher would be a good shout.
That's a great shout.
Ben Thatcher, just a thug.
Yeah.
Like just a sort of South London, Millwall.
That's
thug.
a great shout. That
Ben
I
Thatcher.
forgot about Ben Thatcher. Who did he do?
Pedro Mendes.
Yes, the one who.
It was Pedro Mendes. Should have scored against Royal Carroll.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a good shout.
How passionate are you about Hutton? Because if you are
very.
Okay, you can use this. You can use this occasionally. So is this where you want to deploy your Tom Garratt veto? You want it so Hutton's in?
Yeah, Hutton's in.
Alan
because
Hutton.
there's others where I reckon you'll probably have better shouts.
Okay.
I've only got two more non-negotiables.
Okay, so Alan Hutton's in. I can definitely live with that. Ben White would be my honourable mention. But
okay. Well, we could side at Ben White centre half if you want. If we talk centre half,
I like this.
We can come back to it. We can come back to it.
And
who was yours? So Ben White was yours.
I've got Ben White. I struggled with left back. I didn't particularly care.
Right.
I went Robertson, but I don't care.
Well, mine is an ex-Albion player.
Go on.
Paul Robinson.
Oh yeah.
One of these who, and all the fans
Shaved
loved him, because he'd run around, get stuck in, kiss the badge, and then as soon as Bolton come in for $5,000 more. Oh yeah, see you later, lads. Off we go.
No, I'll give you this.
He was kissing the badge a week ago.
No, I'll give you this completely. Anything that demonstrates betrayal, you're in.
Yeah.
You're in. Yeah.
It's more the fact that Bolton, like I'd let slide. I don't know, Blackburn or literally anyone. Bolton for $2,000 a week more.
Yeah. Do you know what this reminds me of? I was talking to like a couple of my mates about this in a WhatsApp group. A few of my mates are QPR fans.
Yeah.
And I was going like, most hated players. What do you think? Who you? A couple of them come back and they've gone, Clark Carlisle. I was like, I'm not putting Clark Carlisle in this. I barely know who he is. I don't know. Why?
Did he play for QPR?
He played for QPR, but he was like, I need to move north.
Went to Burnley, didn't he?
He went, no, he was like, I need to go, I'm homesick, I need to get north. He moved from Shepherd's Bush to Watford. Yeah, they're like, just in terms of the betrayal, they're like, hang on a minute, you've moved 15 miles, you can't play the homesick card.
I half rate that though.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, so do I. But no, I think your shout is good, and it also bodes well for me as we move further up the pitch.
Okay.
There's a few.
So we've got Hutton right back, Robinson left back.
Hutton, Robinson, and Ricardo in goal.
I'm
you're flying there.
But I think you might have.
So you're two centre halves.
Well, I put Muscat in because I couldn't think, and John Terry.
He can't have Terry. I just can't allow it.
I don't mind that. I don't hate him that much.
He's so good.
I know, but you know what used to piss me off with Terry is like the amount of times I've been to Stamford Bridge and I mean, I never used to pay for the tickets, but back in the day it used to be like 60 quid a ticket to go and watch Albion get pumped 5-0. Yeah. And Terry's just in the refs here, non-stop. And you're like, come on, John, you're 4-0 up against fucking West Bromwich Albion.
You know, if we keep this analysing it through the lens of the football, so not off the pitch.
I'm not bothered about that.
If we keep it football, you know that trait? That trait is comparable to, say, Sergio Ramos, right?
Yes.
I like it.
But
it's a winner.
I'd love it on my team.
It's a winner.
But as an opposition fan...
Yeah, it's a wind-up.
That's what I mean. I don't hate Terry that much. He's probably the best centre-half the Prem's... I actually think he was underrated as a footballer, but...
No, he's fantastic on the ball.
That's unbelievable. I used to switch it with both feet and that.
So many fire attacks.
Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. My two, one of them is kind of non-negotiable. William Garratt.
Really?
Oh my God.
Why? Because he went to Arsenal and Spurs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like double trade.
Double dude. Arsenal and Tottenham. Like, mate, help me out. Also, he's such a good player. Do you know Do you know the other thing that people sort of forget about him? He was at Chelsea before we were brilliant. Right, so he was there
at the start of the year.
He was in the start, yeah. Like I remember he scored a last-minute winner in Prague in maybe 2002. So Abramovich didn't come in for a couple of years.
Yeah.
When he was brilliant, and he was like clearly one of our best players, I was always worried that he'd leave. Like, you know, when Arsenal were winning doubles, they were looking at him, French fellow, playing in London, Premier League proven, and he would always flirt with going.
Right.
So I was always on edge. I was always on edge that we'd lose him, which I thought was very unnecessary.
And did he go? He went straight to Arsenal.
He went to Arsenal in the Ashley Cole deal.
That's
Ashley Cole went the other way.
Right, yeah.
We paid £5 million for Ashley Cole plus Gallas, and we got Ashley Cole.
Christ.
No, there was genuinely a time where Arsenal fans thought that they'd lucked out. They thought that they'd won the battle because they got £5 million.
Yeah.
They got William Gallas, who they felt like they needed, and they had Gail Clichy coming through.
Yes.
So there was like this argument that they could have won in that. Gallas went to Arsenal. Arsenal fans were happy. He then went to top, like mate.
Give me a chance.
What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Where is... You know those people that do that? I hate all of them. Like, you know how Steve Bruce has managed Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Birmingham and Villa, like...
Albion.
Newcastle and Sunderland. Like, mate,
he's
got no respect for any kind of right.
Yeah.
He's got no respect for any sort of right.
No,
And neither does Gallas. And Gallas gets in this team.
You can have Gallas. You can have Gallas purely for when he won number 10 as a centre half.
Do you know who else I've got? I don't think you're going to like this. I've got Harry Maguire. I hate him. You know, one of those just irrational... I hate him. I just hate him.
Why?
Do you know what did it for me? Do you remember when he scored for England at Wembley?
Oh, and he did the old...
Against Albania.
Yeah.
And he's like he's Kim Kardashian cancelling out the haters.
Yeah.
You're like, mate...
Yeah.
No, come on.
Which surprised me, because he doesn't come across like that type
I didn't think he was that.
I don't think he is that. I think that's...
Just a bad moment for him.
It looks... forced as well, do you know, like, I don't know. Yeah. If Bruno Fernandes does that, it's like, that's just who you are. Maguire.
I put Maguire in. It's not even that it makes sense, because everything about him I should like.
He's
an honest centre-half.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's all those kind of petty things that he does. I don't know why he does that.
But that I know that does tend to follow him, actually, stuff like that, in terms of... It's like never ending with Maguire, I feel like. Things.
Headlines.
Yeah.
Headlines. And when you think about the player that he was in, say off the back of the 18 World Cup.
Yes.
I loved him. I loved him so much. You know what
Every England fan did, didn't they?
My favourite picture of it was my like profile picture on various social media things.
Grown man, by the way.
Do you know what I made? I did. I just loved him so much. There's a picture. You know when we won our first ever penalty shootout against Colombia?
Oh, and
Stones are running off.
Brilliant.
Him and Stones are running off. I was just like, okay, that's got to be my picture. There's no picture of me that is better than that picture, and therefore it's in. But I didn't think. I thought Harry Maguire was not gonna.
I'll let you have. Because Muscat's a right back, so I can't be putting.
Maguire Gallas.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Maguire Gallas. Okay.
So we've got Ricardo, Hutton, Paul Robinson, wing backs, and then Gallas. And
this is a hateful side so far. But I think you could argue what we have here. Actually, we're not particularly good players, are we? We're not a particularly good team so far.
No,
It was all right.
Like, lower half of the
Lower
Prem.
half of the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely.
Where you start in midfield?
The one non-negotiable. Which is... I am going to... Well, actually, I'm going to eat my words here, because I actually did play with him, and he was a really, really nice bloke. But Lee Hendry, ask any Albion fan, and again, if he was on my team, you'd love the amount of times he just has scored and just stood in front of the whole end, away end, or there was once he was warming up and like he was giving like the wanker signs and that to the fans. Like, I think that's brilliant. I love that. But as an opposition
you're not
fan,
enjoy it when it's at
you're
you,
seething, and obviously he's a Villa boy, so
he's had the Ben White makeover as well. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah,
Mate, I didn't know who it was. I
Yeah,
saw him,
he's-
you know, when
he's
like the
still,
telly's
like,
on.
yeah.
I was looking at the telly, and I've gone to my mate. Like we're all football fans. I'm at work, right? We're all football fans, like working in football. He's on the telly on Sky Sports News. We're looking up, we're going, who's that? All three of us went, absolutely no idea. Absolutely, who is that?
he's actually a really nice bloke. Though.
Is he? When have
Genuinely.
you played together?
When he was at Tamworth, together. I was only 16, but he was.
You used to love a banger. He had a good
Lee
thing.
Hendry was what made me realise I was never going to make it at the top level. He couldn't run, and he was just
too good.
tech inhibitors, yeah.
Yeah.
But another thing that will make you want to put him in your team, his two sons are massive Wolves fans. And he takes them up the Wolves, and he's Villa through and through.
How's that happen?
You tell me, Rory.
Don't understand it.
Would you let your little one support Spurs?
No.
Exactly.
Unless she wants to move out. She's 4.
I was actually, on the way up, I was trying to think who you'd go for, and I was struggling.
There's two really obvious ones, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah. Well, shall I start with one? And he's in, non-negotiably.
Go on.
Mason Mount.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He's
really?
in. Yeah.
I'll see. Well, no, you
He's
can
in.
have him. You can have him. But
He's in because
I really like Mason, mate. He seems like a really nice bloke.
so did I. But that's why, isn't it? Like you know when the player
Well, wasn't he
breaks
pushed
your heart.
out? Really?
Maybe, but he didn't need to go there, and also his conduct since really winds me up.
Where should he have gone then?
Abroad. Abroad. All been honest and just come out and said, look, they're forcing me out, I don't want to go. But what you can't do is
But
go to
wouldn't that be
Manchester United.
disrespectful to the club to come out and go, well, no, check. Surely you just keep it private and just do your business?
No,
and
I'm
go.
being irrational though, Tom.
Yeah, well, yeah,
yes,
actually.
of course.
Sorry,
I'm being
what
irrational.
the hell am I doing?
No,
What am I
I'll tell
doing?
you what else really wound me up. Like, do you know who I dedicate at least 5 minutes of every day to? Like, you know, people go, how do you find the time to be this hateful? How do you find the time to be this hateful? I'm like, I find the time.
yeah,
I find the time, mate. I dedicate the time. I will find it, and I will dedicate a minimum of 5 minutes every day of my life till the day that I die to Tony Mounts, his father. In fact, he can be in this thing. 5 minutes of every day. 5 minutes of every day. I will sit aside. You know, some people they meditate, don't they? I just sit there and I hate
5 minutes of
Tony Mounts.
I really respect that.
I hate it. And I dedicate every single day. Not one day goes past where I don't think about Tony Mount and think about how much.
Why? What's he done?
I think he orchestrated the move, and then his conduct's post. Like, there's that video. Have you seen the video of him sitting in the Manchester United changing?
Oh, and he's like, we've made it.
We've made it, mate. We're home.
Yeah.
Like, you've been out of Chelsea about 48 hours.
You from Portsmouth?
Yeah. Have you heard him talk about his icon? Have you heard Mason Mount talk about his icon? It's a geezer I really like and rate, right? But you know how when you generally footballers of that generation, they talk about players they love, and I don't know, they probably go
Ronaldinho,
Zidane,
yeah.
be Ronaldinho or whatever. Gary O'Neill. Portsmouth, isn't it? Mason Mount's like, yeah, Gary O'Neill. That's like his icon.
Oh no, I respect
I
that.
rate it. Yeah, yeah.
Mine's Jason Kumas.
Is it? Yeah. Well, Dennis Wise. Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Christ, he could have been in this team.
yeah.
Little bastard.
Oh, really?
Oh, Dennis Wise, horrible.
You would have never got away with
Horrid.
that. All that, man. But do you know with Mount, I think the reason why certain players you're going to hate is because not always, but it's sometimes because you love them so much. Like, you know, if you talk to a Liverpool fan might say Fernando Torres, whereas when you think about how much they loved him when he was there, like they adored him. They absolutely adored it. I remember being up there. He scored 2 against us.
They do with their strikers, don't they, Liverpool?
That bounce, the whole end. It was one of the best songs.
Torres.
Yeah. The whole cop bounced into it. It's like really, really original, good song. And they adored him. And then obviously he jumped ship.
Yeah, the thing, Liverpool always have good strikers, don't they? Then they followed it with the Suarez and the Suarez chant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think with that though, I'd argue with Torres. He was starting to decline when you come in for him.
They didn't know that though.
I
think the club might have known.
Yeah.
But they were...
and the money you paid, I think they were rubbing their hands going, we'll drive him there.
Also, mate, he managed to... He scored 2 goals against us probably about 6 weeks before we signed. Probably about
That's what made Chelsea sign him, I think.
Yeah,
because
cut
before
in once,
that season, he was terrible for Liverpool.
But he was at the time
He was
we
electric.
thought was the...
he was electric, Torres was.
And I think that they would say that if a Liverpool fan were to play this game, I think a lot of them would say Torres, simply because of how much they loved him. That's how it is for me about Mount.
Makes sense. They'd have Owen, surely, Liverpool.
Owen, although, I don't know. I think, they probably would. I might try and sort this out with Liverpool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
A proper Liverpool fan, Scouser, ask a Scouser. I think they'd go Owen. Because he went to United and that, and
I'll try and work it out. But Mount's in. Does he make it?
You can have Mount. Happily, you can have Mount.
I've got another one from a very similar lens.
So are we going to go 3 midfield and 3 up front?
3 midfield, 3 up front.
So we've got Hendry, Mount. Well, obviously I've got 2 more. But go on, what's your last one? Do you say it's non-negotiable or no?
No, it's not non-negotiable.
We can debate
but
this.
I hate him. And I hated him when he was at Chelsea.
Him.
I hated him when he was at Chelsea. And it's very difficult to make me say I hate any player who not only played in the Champions League final for Chelsea, but won the Champions League for Chelsea. Champions League scored for us in the Champions League final.
Havertz.
Yeah, he's in. I hated him at Chelsea.
Yeah, he's not a good player, is he? He's really not a good player.
I find him a wind-up as well. I find him an actual wind-up.
It's do you know what's weird about Havertz? I know a lad who used to play for Rangers, and they played Leverkusen when Havertz was there, and he said to me, he was like, honestly, mate, this kid is unbelievable.
Really?
Like Havertz. So when you signed him, I was like, telling my mates, he's fucking good. I was watching him going, is this the same bloke I've heard about?
Just didn't have it.
Do you know what winds? I'll tell you what winds me up about Havertz is, I know, some players just look like they don't care. I'm not saying he doesn't try.
And it's not even that he doesn't care.
It's just his body, and he's just a bit like lackadaisical. As a fan, it pisses you off, and it really bad when you're not performing as well.
Do you know what else I find such a wind-up with him? The fact that there seems to be this theory that he's a brilliant footballer.
Yeah, why does he get so many chances? I don't get why.
I don't know.
When are we finally going to go? Kai Havertz isn't that good.
Not very good. I know.
He's just not that good.
And I think that's why it winds me up so much. If nobody rated him, I'd probably be able to issue a defence for him. But because people rate him so highly, there is no way that he was ever going to be the difference for Arsenal to win the
league. You know what? I think I dislike him, not because of him, because of others.
The reaction around him. Do you know what people do about him as well? He's a very good example of people who are like the hipsters of the game.
Yeah,
like they don't go.
Yeah.
But do you know what they do? They wind me up. Because if you don't rate a player that they rate, they basically make you out to be a moron.
Yeah.
They go, you don't see it.
Yeah, but...
No, I do see it.
Yeah.
I do think
I watch him.
I do
he's
see
average.
it. Yeah.
I watch him.
I see it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's very good.
Well, no, Arteta's got this plan to like move him here and do... he's average.
Yeah. Jorginho used to wind me up for that. I'd go, Jorginho doesn't do enough in midfield. Like, no, but you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
No, mate.
I've seen you
I was there. I was literally there. So why not? But Havertz, Mount...
I'm not too bothered about my midfielders, so you can...
Who's your other one?
I had Lee Bowyer and Savage.
I hate Robbie Savage. I do hate Robbie Savage.
See, I'm probably one of the only people who I quite like Savage as a pundit, and I think he's really funny.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he's really funny.
I got in a lot of grief the other day, I said, two pundits that I quite like.
I saw you say this, Owen and
Merson.
I don't think Merson's disliked though, is he? Owen is.
He was disliked in a reaction to me saying that I liked him. A lot of people got
really?
Yeah. But
it's
you
because
like
he messes up names and that, doesn't he? Yeah. But I think he knows. Well, he obviously knows footy, but yeah. And Savage again, I actually quite liked him as a player.
Because of what would it be? The Birmingham thing? Is that what?
No, and I just remember he just run around with his floppy long hair, just in the ref's ear, nibbling at players. And what used to piss me off with Savage was he'd start a ruckus and then run behind the referee.
Yeah. It's quite clever.
Yeah. Oh no.
Quite clever.
If he's on your team, you love him. We had Jakob who used to do that horrible, just standing on toes and pinching people. And when it's against you, it's annoying, but
it's so effective, isn't it?
And Savage actually wasn't a bad player. He gets a lot of.
Although your other suggestion was a brilliant player.
Bowyer was a good player as well. Yeah, and again, Bowyer wasn't. He was just nasty.
I think Bowyer was like the original Lampard. You know, like huge numbers from midfield.
Like Leeds and that, yeah.
Huge numbers. That year they got to the semi-final.
He was
I think Valencia done them. But they got to the semi-final of the European Cup, Valencia. Yeah. But I think he's from midfield scored 20 goals.
Yeah, he was. Bowie was a good player, but again, you can have Havertz. I'm not too bothered about them pair.
Okay, Havertz. And then what about your forwards?
One you probably agree with. You might have him actually. El Hadj Diouf.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I despise that bloke. That spitting horrible bloke he was. Horrible.
Yeah. Have you ever heard Carragher and Gerrard talk about him?
No.
Carragher talks about him really openly. It's very
like
funny.
He hates him?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really funny, yeah. Because apparently he said that he was a better player than Steven Gerrard. Like he told Steven Gerrard that he was better than him.
But do you know what I didn't realise, right? I was doing something the other day, like a quiz, and I brought up African Players of the Year. He won like 3 back-to-back. In like the early 2000s. This is when like Eto'o was about and that. When he got the move to Liverpool, he was like hot shit.
Yeah. Well, was it off the... Do you remember when Senegal played France in the first day of the World?
Yeah, he was in that team, yeah. But I think they won African Cup of Nations and stuff. Like, and he was the talisman, basically. Yeah. But he was terrible at Liverpool. Then he went to Bolton and that, and he was just spitting it.
Was he Celtic?
Might have, I can't remember.
Yeah.
He's been around the block a bit.
No, he wasn't. He's not a likeable man.
Yeah, not a lot.
Not a likeable
yeah,
man.
Forget him as a footy player, yeah. You can imagine him being a nightmare like, around the place.
Also, the level of arrogance, like whatever you think of him, however good you think he is, you're not better than Steven Gerrard on any metric. There's no, I can't even make it up for you. You know, if you like loved him and you wanted to try and do him a favour, like his own mother wouldn't say that he was better than Gerrard. He wouldn't, would it? Like you're just not a better footballer than Gerrard. I'm sorry, I love you loads, but you're not a better footballer than Gerrard. But no, Carragher talking about him is well worth a look. It's a good shout. Do you know who I've got? Centre forward, the main man, straight through the middle.
Let me have a think who you would have gone. Give me a clue.
Big name.
Big name?
Arguably the biggest name in the sport.
Ronaldo? I don't mind that. I'm a low-key Ronaldo hater.
Oh yeah. I'm a high-key.
High-key, yeah. High-key down with the kids.
I am a high-key Ronaldo hater. Yeah, I can't bear... Do you know what did it for me? Do you know, like, the moment where I was just like, I can't bear this bloke anymore? Like, I despise every single thing about him. Like, this was it. He did an interview with Piers Morgan. He started talking about Wayne Rooney being ugly. Yeah. It's like, hang on a minute, mate. Show a bit of respect here. Like, what are you doing?
That whole interview was just...
It's when he went. It's when suddenly you're like, okay, you're not really a footballer anymore. You're kind of tabloid. You're Hollywood. Yeah. You're a superstar. All of some of those things you might want to be called. Some of them you don't want to be called. But you are not a footballer because this isn't the behaviour of a footballer.
And what was hilarious is this whole Saudi thing. He only went to Saudi because no one in Europe wanted him. Yeah. No one wanted to pay the wages for
being touted about, wasn't he? Do you remember?
He just pouring himself out for every club, and no one wanted him.
Because it went ridiculous. Like at one point we were looking at like the top tier clubs, and then weren't they talking about not that they're not big clubs, but Valencia, Napoli.
Yeah, the loads. Yeah. Oh, it's done. Well, why is he going to Saudi then? It's because I wanted to change the game. No, he didn't. Because no one wanted you.
That and what he did to Manchester United there. Like, you know when you think back to like iconic moments in football, that interview with Morgan, it's like one of the biggest things that's ever happened in football.
No one's ever done that.
No, it's one of the biggest. I remember it. Manchester United had just packed their bags for the World Cup. They got a last-minute winner against Fulham, Garnacho. Right, so they're feeling good. Ten Hag's doing well. That night, Cristiano Ronaldo just presses a self-destruct button.
And it was the people defending him. It's like, what? It's indefensible.
It's indefensible.
It's indefensible, that interview
The arrogance. The arrogance of him. Like, just telling the world how handsome he is. I'm a very handsome...
And how rich he is, and it's like we know, mate.
And call him... The disrespect to his former teammates.
Yeah.
Like, Wayne Rooney... I mean, I've never really thought about it. Whether he's ugly or not, it's irrelevant.
Ronaldo wouldn't be who he was as a player without Rooney.
No,
Rooney used to do his running.
The most selfless centre forward. And bearing in mind the numbers he scored. And he was selfless.
Yeah.
No, mate,
I'll let you have Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is in. I think I'm a bit non-negotiable on that front.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Ronaldo's in.
It's a shame because he's obviously one of the best players of all time.
It's not a reflection of his ability as a footballer, but it's a reflection of his personality. Ronaldo... Yeah, I really dislike him.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
I really
you can have that. Because mine was, I had David Nugent. Just because
David Nugent?
Because he always used to score.
What's he done to you?
He used to score against
us
all the time.
It's the most insignificant name.
Yeah, give it all that.
Yeah, you can't.
And we were linked with him loads, and I really wanted him, and he never come.
Yeah, David Nugent.
But then I seen him at Cheltenham a few years back, and I was like, yeah, no. And he was actually really
Is he a
sound.
nice bloke?
Yeah. I was like, you always used to score against us, you prick. And he was like,
Do you know where I had this? Do you know who player? I used to really dislike Jorginho. And I met him, and he was so nice to me. I was like, if I hadn't met him, I'd probably be on this list.
Right, yeah.
I met him, and he was like the nicest man in the world. He was so happy to meet me.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't know who I was. I met him at the, what's it called, Silverstone.
Oh, right.
And he was like the nicest man in the world. We had a few beers. Like, he was so sound. I can't put him in his list anymore.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, I don't dislike anyone on this list personally. I don't know them.
Football.
Like Lee Hendry, like I said, Hendry's a really, really nice bloke. But yeah, I get what you mean. So we've got Juve and Ronaldo.
We've got Juve, Ronaldo. I've got two up to put on the table. We can debate them.
Go on then.
Timo Werner.
Oh, because he's just signed for Spurs.
I hate him at Chelsea. Do you know what was quite good? You know, it always sounds like a lie, doesn't it? You know, if you say, I didn't even like him when he was at our club, it sounds like you're being... sounds like you're lying.
No, I believe that. I can believe that.
There was a tweet. There's always a tweet, they say, right? I put a tweet out when he was at Chelsea, like from 2020. Me going, this is the worst player I've ever seen. Like, he's in our worst ever combined 11. You know, if he did a worst ever Chelsea 11, this is while he was a Chelsea player.
Do you reckon?
I put him in it. I said him and Chris Sutton up front.
Was Sutton bad for you, was he?
Oh, like the worst.
That was towards the end of his career, though, wasn't it?
No. It was his prime move. It was his big...
Was it?
Yeah, 10 million. It was like a lot of money at the time.
Norwich would have been his prime, though, surely.
But it was his... Yeah, Norwich would have been his prime. That's the best football he played there in Blackburn.
Yeah.
But I think the move, like the money move, the status move, the prestigious move was Chelsea.
Yeah.
He scored. He beat Man United 5-0 and he scored. And the song was like, even Sutton scored. You know, it was like... It was that...
That surprises me,
No, he was that bad. He was definitely a contender for our worst ever 11.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris
That
Sutton...
shocked me.
Higuain, Morata, all contenders. But Werner and Sutton would be my two. And now he's gone to Tottenham, the little traitorous
And he's... I'm not letting you have Werner.
Not Werner. Okay,
I just think do you know? I think he's quite cute.
Oh, stop it! You can't like him.
I just think he's like. Oh,
I've no idea why.
I just feel like he tries really hard.
Yeah, he's wonderful footballer. I don't think he knows the offside. Like, I'm not even joking.
I don't think he's all there.
The rule.
I don't think he's all there.
I don't think he knows the offside rule because.
I think he's going to do quite well for Spurs.
No, he's not. He won't score a goal. He won't score a Premier League goal for them.
Sure, take that bet.
Yeah, I'll bet you on that. Hang on, no, do you want to? Oh, okay, mate, let's do it properly.
Yeah. Loser takes the other one out for dinner.
Yeah, deal. What we say? 3 goals.
January.
2.5 and up.
Over 2.5.
So you're over 2.5. He's got to score 3 for you to win. Sub that, you take me out for dinner.
Deal.
Done. This is the easiest dinner I've ever made.
I think someone will just come off him.
I've got him scoring 2 goals. Mate, this is going to be hilarious.
I think you'll be surprised.
I think you'll be.
I think he'll suit Andy's system really well. The way he presses and his energy.
But he misses sitters.
That's
It's not about.
I just think
Will he get the chances?
Yeah.
Will he score them?
Yeah, I know he needs 10 to score 1, but I think he'll get 10.
But, mate, they're going to have to create a lot of chances because Richarlison's going to miss his fair share. Brendan Johnson's going to miss his fair share. They're going to have to create 60 chances a game.
But then they've got the equaliser in Sonny, haven't they? So.
Yeah, when he's back, it's different. And when he's back, I don't think Werner's in the team.
I disagree. I think Werner replaces Richarlison.
Over the others, maybe. Be interesting to see, but I don't think he's going to score. But if not him, this player, I like him as a footballer, and I kind of like him in many ways. But I also find the Mbappe position at Paris Saint-Germain quite hateful. You know, with the way that he became a sort of de facto sporting director, dictating the tempo of the club, the strategy of the club. I found that unacceptable.
I don't mind that.
And flirting constantly with
With
Real
Madrid, and it's every week.
It's every week. Yeah.
Either go or shut up.
It's so disrespectful
to
Paris Saint-Germain.
After what they've done for him, and in terms of
I know.
Like you say, sporting director, is it, or
sporting
whatever?
Director, de facto,
it's fucking ridiculous, and the whole. You could tell there was something with Neymar and Messi, and he didn't like it was not being the main man, and then since they've gone, they've got even worse. But obviously,
No, there's something about that situation. I'm not particularly passionate about this because I love watching him play.
Yeah.
But I just don't like this. Is there anyone else on your list?
I've got a Bondahor. Villa bastard. I hated him.
You can have this.
I hated him.
You can have this.
I hated him. He's just... Again, a weird one. I quite like him as a pundit. I think he's really funny, Gabby.
Also, do you know what I think is a bit of a myth with him as a pundit? you know when people go, he doesn't know what he's talking about or whatever. If you actually
He
listen,
does.
90%
A lot of it is
what he
winding
says,
people up as well.
10% I think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
But you know, if you actually listen to the way he breaks down a situation, or
Yeah.
I think he's on.
Yeah, and obviously he's a bit biased towards the Villa, but you're going to be, aren't you?
Yeah, played for
But
him.
yeah, he used to ruin us. He was so fast and Villa always used to beat us anyway, so it was just horrible going to Villa Park, and then he was just running ragged, and he was
Good player, wasn't he?
He was decent
Good
actually.
player. Remember he scored a couple at the Emirates.
Yeah.
They beat Arsenal. He scored
In his prime, like he was electric. He's one of the fastest players I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
Him and Antonio Valencia, probably the fastest I've ever seen live.
Yeah. You seen our keeper? Have you seen Robert Sanchez run?
Is he fast?
He's the fastest man in the world. He should be a sprinter. He's not a goalkeeper. Not a goalkeeper at all.
Fastest man alive.
He's the fastest man in the world. I'm not joking. Like, we were desperate against Brentford this season.
Oh, when he ran back, yeah, he did, yeah.
Everyone. Like my mate was in the stadium going, it's geezer.
He's a big
Usain
back,
Bolt.
yeah. Christ.
Yeah, no, he's rapid. But mate, that's our team. So our front three: Cristiano Ronaldo through the middle, Gabio Bonlahor on one side,
And El Hadj Diouf.
and El Hadj Diouf on the other. I think that's
I'll take
pretty
that.
hateful team.
Yeah.
I like it, mate. This is the first one of these,
Yeah.
and I'm so grateful for you
You're more than
being
welcome,
on the
mate.
debut.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please click the subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Is there anyone you would have added? Have we left anyone off? Put your most hated player in the comment section below. In a bit.